Have you ever wondered what could ignite fresh tensions in a city still scarred by past unrest, like Minneapolis, where echoes of George Floyd's death linger in every protest? What happened in Minneapolis today that has protesters clashing with federal agents outside the Whipple Federal Building? Why are crowds chanting against ICE, and what does ICE stand for in this explosive context? As details emerge, it becomes apparent that on January 7, 2026, a tragic shooting unfolded in South Minneapolis near 34th and Portland involving U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, a federal law enforcement agency under the Department of Homeland Security tasked with immigration enforcement and border security. But are ICE agents truly police officers with the same accountability? Indeed, ICE agents are federal law enforcement officers authorized to carry firearms and make arrests, yet their actions in this case have sparked outrage, raising the question, who was the woman shot by ICE in Minneapolis? The victim, Renee Nicole Good, a 37-year-old U.S. citizen and mother from Minnesota, was fatally wounded by an ICE agent during a large-scale immigration operation. But what led to this deadly encounter? According to DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, Good allegedly attempted to use her vehicle as a deadly weapon to run over officers, prompting the agent to fire in self-defense. Yet Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey counters this narrative, insisting video evidence shows no such threat, begging the inquiry, was Renee Good a citizen interfering in an ICE raid or an innocent bystander caught in Trump's aggressive deportation crackdown? Born Renee Nicole Macklin, Good grew up in Minneapolis, attending Roosevelt High School and later Old Dominion University, where she pursued interests in poetry and community activism. But who is Renee Nicole Good beyond the headlines? A devoted mother of three, including a 6-year-old, a widow whose husband passed years earlier, and a peaceful poet known for her reflections on social justice, as shared on her Facebook and Instagram profiles. The incident, part of what the Trump administration calls its largest operation to date in the Twin Cities, has drawn parallels to the George Floyd protests, with fears of Minneapolis riots resurfacing, prompting another puzzle. Will Governor Tim Walz deploy the Minnesota National Guard again or invoke the Insurrection Act, as some speculate? As protests flared outside the Whipple Federal Building, demonstrators waved signs decrying murderers and demanding ICE's withdrawal, leading to detentions and tear gas deployment. But what role did media outlets like WCCO, KARE 11, NPR News, and the Star Tribune play in amplifying the story? These local stations, alongside national voices like MSNBC's Chris Hayes, have broadcast eyewitness accounts describing Good as peaceful and not aggressive, with videos capturing her grieving family at the scene. Yet DHS defends the agent, with acting ICE director possibly echoing Tom Homan's hardline stance on enforcement. This raises further questions. Is ICE law enforcement overstepping in Minnesota? And what happened in Minnesota today that echoes broader political divides? The shooting occurred amid heightened immigration raids, where Good, reportedly not the target, but perhaps intervening or simply in the wrong place, was confronted. Witnesses claim she was attempting a U-turn when shots rang out, killing her instantly. But why did ICE shoot Renee Good specifically? Was it a mistaken threat assessment or reckless power, as Mayor Frey alleges? Vice President J.D. Vance has staunchly supported the agent, labeling critics radicals and the incident a tragedy caused by interference with lawful duties, while Representative Angie Craig calls for a thorough FBI investigation which is underway alongside state probes. In this volatile atmosphere, one might ask, who is the ICE agent that shot Renee Good, and will they face charges? Details remain sealed pending review, but the agent's identity is withheld for safety, fueling accusations of opacity. Connections to the Whipple Building, a federal hub, and Minneapolis public schools nearby underscore community impacts, with schools like Roosevelt High on alert amid protests. Yet what is the link to broader Minnesota news, including potential National Guard mobilization? Governor Walz has urged calm, avoiding direct Insurrection Act references, but tensions mirror 2020's unrest, with American flags waved by both sides in symbolic standoffs. As the story unfolds, questions persist. Was Renee Good's death preventable, and how does it reflect ICE's role in Minneapolis? Eyewitnesses, including those from the Portland area, describe a chaotic scene where Good, known locally as Renee N. Good or Renee Nicole Good, was remembered as an amazing human being by her mother. But the ultimate enigma lingers. In a nation divided by politics, will this ICE-involved shooting in Minnesota spark lasting reform or deepen the rift, as investigations reveal whether self-defense holds or if accountability demands justice for a mother whose life ended amid the echoes of enforcement? At its heart, the final revelation ties it all. Renee Nicole Good's shooting exposes the human cost of aggressive policies, a U.S. citizen slain in her hometown, igniting calls for transparency that could reshape ICE's operations nationwide.